Okay, Char. So it's the same laugh, but we just did an episode with the same background, by the way,
Because we're on the same
because
vacation
we were on the same vacation, the same trip, first time leaving the babies behind
since our son was born.
since our second one was born.
Mhm.
And last time we talked about the importance that this trip has for me and why I feel like it's a shift and a move forward, taking care of myself, prioritizing myself. But I'm much more curious to hear a bit more around why did you feel like this trip is good for you and what do you think it's doing to you?
I mean, I feel like it's good for me in so many ways. Prioritizing myself and doing that, recognizing that it's something that I have to do and I choose to do despite the perceived roles and responsibilities of being a mother, the actual and the perceived ones. I want to clarify that because I know I take on some roles and responsibility as a mother that probably aren't necessary for my children's survival and well-being. It's that like, oh, I got to do this. I got to make sure this is done. I put a lot of pressure on myself around that. But that's not where I wanted to go with this. It is related, however. I think I'm just kind of avoiding the topic because that's what we like to do until we dive in and hit the uncomfortable stuff.
It's making it more difficult to dig deeper because you have cancer stuff going on and then you got the normal stuff going on, right? So it's also it's not like you don't have any other life issues other than cancer when you have cancer. There's other stuff flying around, like you're leaving your baby behind for the first time.
Yeah. And so that's what really came up for me on this trip is leaving my son. I just felt like this huge weight of guilt. He just turned a year old. And I just, it was so hard. Like I cried the night before thinking about it. And I'm not saying that's abnormal, mothers and attachments and babies. But what I realized in the weight and the sadness here was that what I was feeling was not just related to coming on this trip together. It actually brought up the immense guilt that I felt being in the hospital and having abdominal surgery and not being able to hold him when he was 4 months old. And that's just something that clearly I haven't fully let go of and forgiven myself for yet. Because I knew that would be the hardest part of my journey, and it was. I just felt terrible not being able to hold my baby. So it comes up again now, and I get to give it voice in more of a public stage. And I know that's important. I know that's important in my healing and also in my relationship with him because he does not benefit if I carry around guilt. That doesn't keep anything from happening in the future. It only puts a burden on me around him.
Or worse, if I may, if you carry around your cancer because he was 4 months old and you left him at home because you had to have a surgery to take out the cancer from your kidney.
Yeah.
Like, he's probably pretty happy that you had that surgery.
Yeah, because I'm still around. Right? And he was cared for, he had around the clock care and he was loved and I still remember coming home. I remember coming home from the hospital and like the guilt was so strong that I felt like I couldn't even hold him again. I just felt so scared. Like it was almost like, what if I hold him and then something happens and I can't again? I can't make him go through that. And it wasn't about him. It was about my own fears and about my perceived roles and responsibility. as a mother, and
Yeah.
you know what love looks like and what strength looks like, and just kind of getting that
Yeah.
blown up a little bit.
Yeah, and how you put extra pressure on yourself while you're fighting cancer, which is your number one priority in that moment, right? In that
Right.
moment, it's all about how do we get that fairly big tumor out of your body.
Yeah.
And at the same time, while you were worried about that, you were also worried about
Our kids,
and
and
know,
you, and how you're managing the household.
yeah, that was a rough week. She was in the hospital for five days, I think, 4 nights, something like that. And that was a rough week. You know, that was a rough week.
Yeah.
Also, lesson learned, we need tissues next time close by
Yeah.
when we do something like this.
Good call.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Yeah. Life.
You're probably not the only one who feels mom guilt. You're probably not the only one who has a cancer diagnosis coming along with mom guilt.
Yeah.
So thanks for sharing that.
Thanks, love. Thanks for being with me through it.
All right, guys. I think it's time. Talk soon. Bye.